Gatwick, one man's nerves seem to give the game away.
So you have no problem doing an X-ray?
Have to do an X-ray?
Yeah.
On a flight from Malaga, one passenger seems to have forgotten who he's travelling with.
Travelling by yourself today? Just yourself, is it? Who's this? Oh.
And in Birmingham, Officer Mike pulls over one unhappy customer.
I'm going to have a look.
I'm not happy what you're doing right now.
Well, that's fine. If you're not happy, sir.
Honestly.
If you're not happy,
Really
there's
not
a complaints procedure.
At Gatwick Airport, a flight has just landed from Bridgetown in Barbados, a popular transit route for drug smugglers. The body language of one passenger has caught the eye of officers. He's been acting nervously since coming through immigration, so he's pulled over to answer a few questions.
How long does it look the trip?
Trip?
Yeah.
To Barbados?
Yeah.
I planned it about a month ago. I bought the ticket early last week. I bought for travel.
So did you go from Canada to?
Yeah, to Barbados. Yeah, I went from there. Well, I figured it's better to go there first and go all the way back. It just didn't make sense.
A quick search of the man's suitcase has revealed nothing suspicious, but his animated and nervous behaviour is causing great concern.
Have you used any cocaine while you've been away?
No, I haven't.
So if we do an X-ray of you, there'll be no cocaine in your system. Then you have no packages.
No, there's no packages.
You sure? So you have no problem doing an X-ray?
Have to do an X-ray?
Yeah. You've got packages of cocaine inside you?
I have no packages.
Are you sure about this?
Sure.
Yeah?
But the man's answers aren't convincing, and he started to sweat noticeably. A swab test of his suitcase is carried out for any traces of drugs. The machine gives an extremely high reading for the presence of cocaine. As the circumstances become even more suspicious, officers escort the man to a private interview room for questioning. Here they hope he may confess to being a drug smuggler.
You can't stop talking. You look as nervous as anything. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Okay, go on.
I think you may have drugs inside you, or on your person. Okay?
He's basically done a couple of iron tracks and they've come up quite high. He suspects that it may be internal concealment. So he's just, I think, just arrested him now, and then I dare say, providing we get acceptance from him, that we'll body scan him just to check that he's clear.
Smugglers carrying packages internally often secrete traces of drugs through the sweat in their shoes. A swab test is conducted for any further hits of cocaine. And another very high reading for cocaine causes more concern, giving officers a good reason to put the passenger through a full-body X-ray. It's a busy morning at Bristol Airport. Passengers have arrived back from Malaga and are waiting in baggage reclaim for their luggage. Officers have been X-raying suitcases coming off the flight and have identified a number of bags carrying large quantities of tobacco. Officer Brandon spots the first bag being collected by a male passenger and moves into position to intercept him in the customs channels.
Hello there, sir. Customs. So you come through travelling by yourself today? Yeah. Just yourself, is it? Okay.
Tobacco products purchased in Spain are only allowed to enter the UK if they're for personal use.
Have you ever been stopped by customs before? No. Have you purchased any excise goods whilst you've been away? Cigarettes, tobacco, anything like that? Okay. How much tobacco have you got?
As the passenger struggles with the padlock on his bag, Officer Erica has been looking at the passenger list for the flight.
Are you travelling with anyone else at all? Or? No?
But she knows this isn't true. The man is travelling with his wife and he faces an uncomfortable reunion.
Excuse me, madam, have you got your passport at all?
Me. Husband's going.
Your husband's got it? So you're travelling with your husband?
Yeah.
Right, okay, if you can step with us, we've just pulled him in a second.
Who's your tobacco for then?
I smoke to myself.
Is that your husband there?
2 lads, they smoke as well.
Right.
Right, okay. When did you last travel abroad?
4
Is
weeks
this-
ago.
Who's this?
My wife's there.
Oh, how do you manage to travel alone then, and all of a sudden your wife's here? Did you not know you were both flying at the same time?
No, it was like that though. We stopped people.
Right.
But I asked you again, and you still said you weren't travelling with anyone.
Right, bear me a moment, okay?
Brandon decides to run some background checks. The man has been stopped by customs in the past, meaning he's lied more than once.
He doesn't know the combination for his case. He said he's not been stopped by customs on a previous occasion, which obviously is a lie again. There's got to be reasons. There's casting a lot of doubt in my mind. We'll have a look what he's got in there, and we'll take things from there. Oh, you got it off, did you?
The man must prove his tobacco products are for personal use. But given he's lied twice already, Brandon is less inclined to believe anything he has to say.
What quantity of goods do you have there?
If they fail to convince officers that the tobacco is only for themselves, they face having all of their goods seized. In Gatwick, officers are about to X-ray a nervous Canadian man who they suspect is trying to smuggle drugs inside his body. A swab test has been conducted on the passenger's shoes, and due to the extremely high reading for cocaine, he's been led away for a full-body X-ray. This isn't helping his nervous behaviour.
Right,
Is this a consent?
yeah, because you're taking our X-ray,
Yeah.
we need your consent to say that you'll do it for us.
Well, I'm not going to give you my consent. I think this is a load of crap.
Okay, well what happens then if you don't do the X-ray? You stay with us until you've produced 2 clear bowel movements, however long that may take.
If you don't want to, that's fine. We'll just take you downstairs, get you custodised, put you in a cell in a white suit, and we'll wait there till you've moved your bowels twice to show there's no packages there. Or we can do it now by doing an X-ray. You're cool.
The man's options are limited. They'll find out one way or another whether he swallowed any drugs.
Right, now what you need to do, this conveyor belt's going to move, yeah? You're going to stand on it. You need to stand on it as I'm standing on it, nice and straight, yeah? Arms by his side, nice and still. And breathe out slowly, yeah? Until your lungs are empty and hold.
With the net closing in, officers try to get him to confess.
How many packages you got? What? Cocaine inside you? No. Huh?
Incredibly, he's still denying it. But the X-ray images confirm their suspicions that he's stuffed with packages. The man is led away to the airport's custody suite.
Let us know immediately if you feel unwell.
Hello.
He kept pleading his innocence, but after a week and a half in custody, he eventually went to the toilet and produced 36 packages of cocaine with a street value of over £30,000. Back at Bristol, an elderly couple are trying to prove that a large quantity of cigarettes and tobacco purchased in Spain is for their personal use only and not illegal resale.
So no papers, no filters, no smoking tin? Nothing? What about yourself? Do you have anything like that? You just smoke cigarettes, okay? With the fingers, and there's no odour, no tobacco odour from them. I'm quite convinced that they're non-smokers. Do you want to come and take
The
a
officers
seat in
decide to take the couple away for further questioning.
No, you stay separate. I'll get you a seat now.
They'll be interviewed separately to see if their stories are the same.
If they're telling lies then, it's very rare that they'll have the same story, unless they're well rehearsed. But I doubt that is the case.
During the interviews, it's revealed that the couple regularly buy tobacco abroad for themselves and their sons.
How does that work? Do they tell you how much they want, or do you charge them for the quantity you give them when you get back?
I pay the bill you send you and we split it 3 ways, whatever it was.
But receiving money for goods is an offence, even if it's from family members.
Bought him for Christmas presents mostly, for the children, grandchildren.
So why did you lie about travelling with your wife?
As I say, it was just news. I don't know why I said it.
As Brandon and Erica compare notes, there's some inconsistencies in their stories.
His wife basically is giving a different story, painting a different picture really of where the goods are going and how much they've brought back on a previous occasion. He's also receiving money for 2/3 of the goods. I believe there's enough grounds to make a sort of viable seizure. I'm not satisfied the goods are for yourselves and there's a commercial element involved, all right? And the goods will be seized from you on this occasion.
Reluctantly, the couple sign papers to confirm that their tobacco is all being seized. They'll have 30 days in which to appeal the seizure, but for now, they're leaving empty-handed. At Gatwick Airport, a plane has just touched down from Amsterdam, and border agency officers are observing passengers as they disembark the flight. In immigration control, officers have been alerted to a Dutch man entering the country.
What we can do is just go around to the bench here, we'll just have a quick look inside your bag.
It seems this is not the first time the man has been stopped.
We saw this guy a couple of months ago. He's a frequent traveller to the UK. When he's intercepted, he comes up with a different reason for travel each time. He comes up with a different background story each time. For some reason, he doesn't want to tell us exactly what he's doing.
Okay, now you told me that you wanted to come and live in the UK.
Yeah.
Yes? Is that what your trip is all about? You're coming over here?
Yeah, because I want to find that out. If I like it, but I want to find that out if I really like it to stay here. You know?
Okay, but you're not staying very long to try and find out, you know, been here.
Yeah, because I come here a couple of times.
You don't have much baggage with you?
No. I don't come for all week.
But there's good reason to be suspicious.
I've stopped him before, and he had a laptop case. And when we did the iron track on the laptop case, it gave us the highest I've ever seen. And he was very inconsistent with his story at the time. So we body scanned him, we x-rayed him at the hospital, that was all negative, and we had nowhere else to go, we had to let him go.
Having found massively high traces of drugs on the passenger in the past, officers must again rule out the possibility that he may be carrying drugs this time.
You know, I was asking you upstairs about the stamps you have in here for the Dutch Antilles that you went to earlier in the year. You told me you went there on vacation. Did you go on vacation with your wife and children to the Dutch Antilles? Where did you stay?
Family. My family.
You've got family out there. You're a busy person. When do you find time to work? Just take a seat. I'll be back in a moment.
With large quantities of drugs entering the UK from South America and the Caribbean, Sarah needs to make sure his links with the Dutch Antilles are legitimate.
From what I can make out, he actually missed the flight yesterday, so he's come in today. He's going home again tonight. He's saying that he just wants to come over here to see what it's like to live in the UK, but I'm not really very happy with what he's telling me. I'm not really very happy with, you know, he says he works in a shop, in a magazine section of a shop out the back. He doesn't actually sell magazines to the public, but his clothing is quite expensive, and I don't know, something's not hanging together right here.
It's the busiest part of the day at Birmingham Airport, as a number of flights arrive during the lunchtime rush hour. As passengers head for the exit, officers spot a lone male passenger who's been identified as starting his journey in Morocco. Officer Mike pulls him over to ask a few questions.
Are you French, English, Moroccan? English.
British.
Yeah, obviously you can't say English anymore. So where's Kenitra? Is that Morocco? Yeah. Is that the ancestral? How long have you been out there?
10 days.
Was that a holiday? Yeah. And who were you visiting?
What?
Who were you visiting?
From the man's demeanour, it seems he's less than happy about being stopped.
Parents, yeah. So what do you do in the UK?
Security.
Yeah, what sort of security? Building security, door security?
Not door security, it's obviously retail security. No?
Retail security. Yeah. Okay. Just bear with me, I'm going to have a quick look through your bag. If you pop it on there for me, okay?
someone will choose me not to do that kind of things. I need to go to Manchester.
Oh, I'm sorry, you've got to go somewhere, sir, but we'll do this as quick as we can.
Yeah, it's just because of the cover. They choose me to do it.
That's what you believe.
Isn't it?
The man's anger at being stopped creates more suspicion that he has something to hide.
So where are you off to then? Where are you off to? Where are you off to now? Sorry?
I want to go home.
You just want to go home?
Yeah.
Where's home?
Birmingham. Just gates. If you open it, don't put it.
Sorry?
Just gates. If you open it, put it again, please. Like the same.
Well, I'll do my best, but you know, if you're not happy the way we do it, then you can sort it out for yourself, can't you?
What do you mean I sort out myself?
Well, I'll open it the best that I can. If you want to, do you want to unwrap it for me?
You know why? Listen to me.
Do you want to unwrap it so you can wrap it back up how you want,
Yeah,
or do you want me to just cut it open? I'm happy for you to unwrap
I mean,
it.
you can pray and you can use machines or
No,
whatever.
that's.
I'm
going to have a look.
I'm not happy what you're doing right now.
Well, that's
The
fine. If you're not
cameras,
happy, sir.
Honestly.
If you're not happy,
really
there's
not
a
happy.
complaints procedure you can follow after we've done
Yeah,
this.
I need to talk to somebody you see.
Well, no. At the moment, we're going to look in this box, all right? Now, do you want me to cut it
I
open?
don't want the camera, please. All right. Sick of the piece, to be honest. Serious mistakes.
Yeah,
You
well,
see, that's the machine. You don't have to open it.
listen, I don't tell you what to do for your job. You please don't tell me what to do for mine, and then we'll get on just fine, won't we?
With the man's attitude, it's going to take Mike a while to properly search his bags. In Gatwick, officers are still probing the Dutchman with an inconsistent story. His passport shows he's made multiple trips in a short period of time, and they don't know if he's telling the truth or not.
I'm not happy, but at the same time, I can't persecute the guy.
No, you can't.
A swab test is conducted on his bag for any traces of drugs.
So, I'm just going to see if I can get any readings from the bag here.
And a positive reading for cocaine leaves Officer Sarah with yet more questions.
Have you got a hit off his bag?
Yes,
How high? No, not as high as
1.96.
last time.
Oh, a bit high.
What did you say he does for a job?
He works in a magazine section behind a shop.
See, last time he said he was involved in his family gold business.
Oh, really? No, there's been no mention of the family gold business. I'll go and investigate further about his job. How long have you worked in this warehouse stroke shop?
5 years. Also for somebody home, like when you have a house, painting, put the floor.
Oh, okay.
The inconsistent job history, along with the lack of evidence, is beginning to frustrate.
I don't want to persecute the guy, but at the same time, there is a lot of stuff that's not adding up.
What we will do is search him to see if we can find anything on his person, any papers, large sums of cash, anything at all, which could indicate the real reason for his travel to the UK, which obviously he doesn't want to tell us about.
I'm really not very happy about some of the things that you've said to me today. You're not here for very long. So for that reason, I've had a search authorised. So some male officers here are going to take you into the room away from the public view, and they'll just give you a rub-down search, okay?
Whilst hoping they may find some concrete evidence to explain the man's suspicious story, it doesn't take long to make a decision.
Okay.
Nothing found means he's free to go.
If you just grab your bag,
Yeah.
and then just make your way through to the exit. Good luck to you in finding a job and working out where you want to live. Okay, thank you very much for your time.
It's an inexplicable outcome for the officers.
His story, his reasons for being here are unbelievably vague. Doesn't really all add up. Who knows?
In Birmingham, Officer Mike is still searching the bags of the disgruntled passenger who started his journey in Morocco.
What's this?
This is drugs.
Sorry?
Check them.
Will you tell me what it is before I get there? You tell me you know what's in the bag.
It's kind of sweets. Ramadan.
What's that one do?
Huh?
What's that for?
This?
Yeah.
Medication.
For what?
For headache.
For a headache.
Someone put this drink
The man's nonchalant answers are proving just as much of a headache for Mike.
What's that of? What is it? It's your nationality, is it? Who's the other fella? You don't know.
Having found nothing of significance in the man's bag, his shoes are swab tested for any traces of drugs.
I'll just swab the shoes feel a little heavy, and I'll just swab the inside of them to see if we've got a trace reading. As you can see, there's a small trace reading for heroin. Just going to pop them through the X-ray now.
Heroin use is widespread in Morocco, and Mike is concerned that the passenger may be concealing the drug in his shoes.
Now to be honest, that looks exactly what I'd expect to see. Looks fine. Okay, so thanks for your patience. You start putting that back if you want to. Well, you can repack it if you want to. I mean, the legal obligation is passengers are legally obliged to open and repack their baggage when requested to do so. Just speeds things up for you. I know you're in a rush.
The man is clearly unhappy about the whole incident. Searching passengers and their luggage is part and parcel of the UK Border Agency's role. It's a necessary process, and for the officers, courtesy goes a long way.
There you go. Thanks for your time and your patience. We're very well aware that the majority of people are perfectly innocent travellers going about their normal day-to-day life. The guilty don't wear labels, and it can make our job a lot easier if people are compliant and pleasant with us, rather than perhaps trying to see things that aren't there.
In Gatwick, a flight has just arrived from Trinidad. It's a well-known source of cocaine, and sniffer dog Rossi has just seconds to pick out any smugglers hiding amongst the innocent passengers.
Okay, thank you.
Your voice looks frightened.
Thank you. That's it. Okay.
Suddenly, Rossi picks up a scent and targets a woman in a white jumper.
Just stand still for me.
UK border sniffer dogs are trained to pinpoint the exact location of any drugs. Rossi indicates on the woman's bag.
Are you together? Are you training by yourself?
The passenger seems nervous, but after the initially strong indication, Rossi loses interest.
Where? Okay, thank you, madam. That's fine, thank you. He basically pulled to get to her, or get to her scent, so I dropped the lead, and he was all around her rucksack, and he dropped the floor, so he tried to get underneath it.
Back down into the channels anyway, just in case your guys have picked anything up down there.
Yeah, I might see what's in her bag anyway.
Meanwhile, Gatwick's newest drug dog, Barney, is examining the baggage from the same flight. Barney gives his strongest indication yet on this black and white spotted suitcase.
I've got a feeling it could be this lady here.
Officers watch as the same woman collects the bag.
And it is. All right, thank you.
With two separate indications, the officers think she must be smuggling cocaine. The team must keep the suspect under surveillance to make sure she doesn't slip away. But surprisingly, it's her who approaches the officers to ask for some directions. Fitz intercepts the passenger.
Hi, where are you travelling from today?
Here called Trinidad.
Trinidad. You travel on your own?
Yeah.
Okay, just have a quick word if that's all right. Hello.
But now the suspect seems more relaxed, even as Barney gives another unmistakable indication. The sniffer dogs believe the bags contain cocaine, but now it's up to Fitz to find it. In Manchester, UK border officers are on the lookout for people bringing in more than 200 cigarettes on a flight from Gran Canaria. They spot 2 bags full of cigarettes. Kevin puts them back on the carousel, giving the passengers the opportunity to declare the excess, using the phone provided in the customs red channel. Ignoring the signs, they walk through nothing to declare. and the passengers aren't happy to hear that the goods will now all be seized.
There's no signage and conveyor belt that says we have to go and pick a phone up. No, there's nothing telling me to pick a phone up. When you walk in here, so can you categorically say I didn't go near that phone? I can do, yeah, because I watched it. I went round the back of the belt, I x-rayed the flight. I seen you pick up your bags off the belt, and I watched you walk towards the green channel. You never went anywhere near the goods to the clear channel. You walked straight into the green channel saying, yeah, not to be clear. Okay? It's going to be no tax. It's going to be seized from you today.
The red phones have been there for years, but the man's still hoping to bend the rules.
There you go. What's the crack here?
As the officers already said, there's signs out there.
No, there's nothing that says we have to pick a phone up though, is there? Come on.
We can't, there's nothing we can do. If you'd have declared them at the red point, you could have paid the dues.
Of course there's something you can do.
There's not.
No, I've never brought anything back in line.
Now other passengers decide to get involved.
No reason in the course. They love to
it's not signs, you know.
I'm talking to you, mate. I'm talking to you. Well, I'm not listening to you.
Right, I'll just show you the red point where the gentleman that's just been very abusive to us about not having the opportunity to declare the cigarettes. This is where he should have come. Bringing in excess goods, you should declare them at the red point. The gentleman's argument was there was no staff behind the red point. We tried to explain that there's a red phone there for him to use, and he said, well, he shouldn't have to do that. There's no signs telling you to do that. And there quite clearly is. It says there, goods to declare, you will speak to an officer or make your declaration using the red telephone. So, he's not got a leg to stand on, I'm afraid.
And now the man decides to turn nasty.
The fact that, you know, you've got an asshole like you, and you've got a manager who's got no discretion, you're not going to be sweeping the floor.
Unfortunately, that's the way people get. It's just, they get upset because they're having a cigarette seized from them.
Despite clearly being guilty, the men haven't finished abusing the officers just yet. Back in Gatwick, the suspected cocaine smuggler picked out by the sniffer dogs is now being searched.
They did this over there, so it doesn't matter what
Sorry,
how you pack it back or whatever.
Right, oh, okay.
Because they pretty much messed it up.
Who was that?
They checked the bags and whatever across there.
They checked them before you came out, did they?
They
Right.
did the same thing.
Oh, okay.
So they pretty much messed it up, so.
Right.
With 3 separate sniffer dog indications on the bags.
Okay, I just need to do a quick x-ray of your suitcase, all right?
Yeah.
UK border officer Fitz is convinced he'll find something inside.
All right, doesn't seem to give us that much information about it, so probably have to do a further examination. I'll take it to the tool room and have a look, have a closer look, actually.
Surprisingly, Fitz can find no sign of cocaine. And even the drug swab is clear.
Well, they actually ascertain there's nothing in there. No, which is a bit of a shame, really. As it was a good indication by the dogs, I must admit.
It's disappointing, but with such strong suspicions, Fitz isn't willing to give up the search just yet.
That's the game that you plug into the television.
Right.
It's a games console dance mat, but something doesn't add up.
Has you got a PlayStation with her?
No.
So why would you have one of these anyway?
Yeah. Right, round 2. I mean, it is heavy as hell.
Fitz then spots the clue he's been after.
The actual casing looks like it's already been removed once before.
This acts like a sniffer dog. It's just looking for minute particles of substances that within sky high. It's got to be there.
Suspicions are now even higher, but where are the drugs?
Is that rubber impregnation?
That's what I think it is.
Mm.
Ever seen it in a dance mat?
Have you tried doing it on that? Can you break the
Yeah, that's what...
Can you break a bit off? No, I can do if you want to. The material's gone blue. Oh. I'm kind of saying that's a positive then.
Amazingly, the rubber inside the dance mat is full of cocaine.
The time is 10:10. I'm arresting you on suspicion of being involved in the importation of a controlled drug.
It just goes to show, with smugglers using ever more devious methods, the officers can take nothing for granted.
Anything you do say may be given in evidence, do you understand? Okay.
The officers' persistence has paid off. and yet another smuggler has been caught red-handed.
North.
The drugs were ingeniously hidden, and one member of the team deserves a special reward.
Knock yourself out, you little star. Well, he's just had his second job in 3 days to cocaine detections, which is unprecedented for such a new dog. He's only been in the job for 6 months. It's brilliant. But in the meantime, he's going to get this as a treat because it's just an unbelievable job for such a young dog.
And while Barney enjoyed his bone, the woman won't be enjoying her freedom. She pleaded guilty and could be facing around 10 years in prison. Back in Manchester, the angry passengers want to appeal against the decision to seize their cigarettes. But they're now refusing to sign the paperwork.
I had 606 stuff off me when it says.
After 2 hours, the men are starting to test the officer's patience.
There you go. That is my argument. Right.
Whether it goes to appeal or not, he won't get his cigarettes back.
Okay.
You won't get your cigarettes back because you've entered the goods nothing to declare channel, stating that you've got nothing to declare. And I followed you straight to the green channel.
Dad, just it. Can't be to do is just job worse.
Well, I was going to say that we've got more pressing things to do than stand here arguing with you.
I couldn't agree with you more.
The already tense exchange is about to escalate.
Again, you need to just learn that you learn what? Learn. Why are you talking like that?
Don't talk to me like I'm a piece of lad.
Hold on, you're the one who was talking to us like a piece of
laughing for no reason. Don't try to tell me what to do. Stand
He's having a conversation.
I'll tell you now, you have less of that now, otherwise I'll arrest you and I'll have you upstairs.
Right, let's just
pack it in now.
And they were getting quite abusive, and it was getting to the stage where we thought they might be having to arrest them for obstruction or even assault. But it was getting close to them. It looked like they were going to lash out. Right, I've not been rude or abusive job. I've tried to be. Luckily, we talked them round and they've left in the end, but I'm not very happy. We've had the cigarettes seized. Just straight down there and then round to your left.
The illegal cigarettes will now be destroyed. In Manchester's Terminal 2, a flight has just touched down from Dubai. A man acting strangely has been intercepted by the UK border officers. Inside the suspect's bags, Gary has found flight manuals and pilot training information.
He's just looking very edgy, very nervous, but he's got all sorts of literature on planes. He says he's just an enthusiast, but he says it looks too detailed, really. It looks like confidential stuff.
So, for you to draw a flight desk simulation planes, where are you getting that information from? Internet. So everything that you've got in front of me here, you have copied from the internet. What? The internet, yeah. All the stuff that you have in here. Yeah. It's just something very, very strange. Yeah. So you just have a look at him and he wants to go.
I know he's looking at you.
The gentleman come through off the Dubai flight, some single traveller. He seemed nervous in the way he was entering the channels, head down, sluggish walking, avoiding eye contact with me, to be honest. Basically found a lot of literature with regards to flying flight schools, avionics of the plane, and various courses with regards to cabin crew.
As Gary digs deeper, the details become more and more incriminating.
Why have you got information about fighter planes?
Well,
combat planes, weapons.
Well, these were. I was interested during the RA points.
You were interested in what? Sorry.
Joined the RA for Royal Air Force.
Okay, so you're trying to self-teach yourself by learning from the internet how to fly planes.
No, from that. I'm just getting some information from the internet. That's what I'm doing.
So you're just getting some information.
The man's lack of answers is worrying Gary.
Of aircraft by the looks of where this stuff.
I'm just making a book, that's all.
So you're now making a book?
No, I'm not making a book. What I'm doing is I go on these planes all the time. You can see my passport. I went to flying school in Bangladesh. The aircrafts were too old.
What was the name of the flying school?
Bangladesh flying school.
Okay, how long did I find Bangladesh flying school for?
No, I wasn't there for long. I just went to see.
You just told me you were at flying school.
Yeah, I went there to see the aircraft.
that's all. Just to look at his stuff.
So you weren't taught anything in lessons at all?
No, I've not took any like trial lessons yet. No.
Well,
I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm not.
Okay, like I asked you before, are you just like sort of learning to be a pilot from information you were downloading from the internet?
No. I mean,
so where's all this information?
I've made them. I've collected. No one helped me. That's all I can say.
Well, I mean, I'm no sort of aircraft specialist, but some of this seems quite sensitive. If this got in the wrong hands, it could be quite.
Gary finds a hard drive with more aircraft data.
Aircrafts.
That you've downloaded off
the
internet?
Yeah.
When did you last go to Bangladesh before this trip?
The man's odd behaviour and contradictions are increasingly alarming.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Don't remember. You said you travel all the time.
Yeah, I do, but it's a passport thing. I remember when travel.
You're not making sense, really.
The man's answers are becoming more vague, and his story sounds stranger all the time.
When I was young, I went to college, school, I had friends. I've lost everything. I lost my friends, mates, everything. Everyone's gone.
He doesn't seem to be able to back anything up that he's talking about. All his answers are sort of wavering. He's saying one thing, but he's not really backing it up and backtracking on things. So he's not telling us the truth about something. So we're going to swab his bag, screen it for explosives.
The officers believe the man may be involved in terrorist activities, and the suspect is saying nothing to explain the documents. Gary has called in Special Branch while they await the result of the swab for explosives. On a night shift in Dover, officers are monitoring outbound vehicles on the hunt for large amounts of cash which may be linked to crime. Ben is questioning a Polish vehicle, looking for any clues that they may have something to hide.
How much money have you brought to England with you? 3,000. And how much are you taking back to Poland now? How much money do you have left?
1,600.
Is that between all of you, yes?
No,
£1,600 each.
Ben thinks the group are telling lies.
So you each brought £3,000 to England,
yeah.
And you all take 1,600 back with you. And it's all in £50 notes as well?
Yeah.
And where did you get the money from then?
From Polish exchange point.
And they just gave it in 50s, not in smaller? Okay, that's good. If you can bring your money and yourselves and come out the car, and then we go.
The specially trained sniffer dog will now search the Polish vehicle for cash to see if the passengers are telling the truth. As Miller and dog handler Bo search the car, Ben presses the passengers on their story.
So what have you spent your money on while you've been here in England?
And fun. Clubs and drinking and stuff like that.
Okay, and you've all got 1,600.
The car is clear. But Miller picks up a cent in one of the rucksacks.
Is there more money in that bag? No?
Just show me this bag.
The man denies having any more cash, but Miller has found an envelope which gives Ben reason to believe the group are lying to him.
So that's where money's been. Was that in this bag, is it? All right. It's wages or?
Yeah, wages.
That's had money in, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, so that's why the dog smells it. So have you been working in England then? I thought you came here on holiday.
Yes, those guys was
Who was on holiday? But not you. You work in England. So why didn't you say you work in England? Do you all work in England?
No, because I'm not very.
Are you sure? It's not a problem if you work in England. Just tell me if you do. You don't work in England. You're on holiday. So it's not wages that you're taking back to Poland. You sure?
Yeah.
What about yours? Is yours wages that you take home?
Yeah.
Because it 859, 803, £1,600, £1,600, 16. So do you work in England or not? Yeah, I think you work in England. Yeah. So why you say you don't work in England? It's not a problem now. You're Polish. You can work in England.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah, we work.
Okay. So you do work in England.
Yeah, sorry for that.
So if it hadn't been for your wage slips, you'd have been all right.
The needless lie has been uncovered.
Obviously now that Poland's in the European Union, they can work in the UK, but for whatever reason, I don't know whether they're scared to tell us the truth, that they're actually working here, or whether it's just a case of they don't want to say how much money they're taking out of the country, so they've all come out with the story that they've come here on holiday, each got £1,600 left, and then they're taking it back to Poland. So it didn't really ring true. 1,600, 1,600, 1,600, okay?
It's clever really, because sometimes that happens, you know, someone lies about the amount of money they've got and then the dog will indicate on an item of paperwork that's been with their money, which is obviously why the dog indicated.
Good.
It's a barefaced lie, which officers are used to.
Sometimes we don't know why they lie, but sometimes we do find it out, and it's the smallest of reasons really.
The passengers have done nothing illegal and are free to go. In Manchester, the officers are dealing with something potentially far more serious. They've stopped a passenger with a bag full of sensitive aircraft data. The explosive swab found no trace, but now they found evidence of multiple foreign trips paid for by someone else.
Basically, we found a lot of information about aircraft flight simulators, different magazines, different information on fuel from aircraft.
What planes are these? Are these small planes? Are they commercial aircraft?
No. The Boeing planes, aircraft, the real aircraft,
big long planes.
Yeah.
Gary calls in Special Branch to tell them about the suspect's strange story.
My mum's boyfriend pays for it as well. Not only my dad. I've got my mum's boyfriend. His name is.
Go back to the back foot.
Yeah.
In a climate of global terrorism, the officers need to be on the lookout for all suspicious behavior.
That's the cabin crew information.
I don't want the cabin crew, but you can keep me if you want, because I'm not doing any work on these.
This is the list of.
That's on the passport. That's on the passport.
He's flown. What does that tell him with what's in his passport? 2003, 2008, he said he's took off 34 times and landed 34 times.
Gary and the UK border officers have taken the questioning as far as they can. They now hand the suspect over to Special Branch for further investigation.
Okay, do you want
to get your bags and just come and have a word with us? Cheers, mate. I mean, there's nothing a secret. I won't keep a secret.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah, no worries.
For Gary and the team, the strange encounter comes to an end.
It was bizarre,
I can't understand why he's doing all these trips. Just could be in his own little fantasy world.
He might be a bit of a fruitcake or a chance.
The man is led away for questioning, while the border officers wait to find out the cause of the man's strange behavior. Customs officers aboard Searcher are patrolling the deserted waters of the Atlantic in winter. These customs ships are the front line against international drug smugglers.
Well, we're currently about 6.5 miles southwest of Lizard Point in Cornwall. And just slow down a tad, bring them back to about 4. And we've sighted a sloop sailing yacht, which is heading in an easterly direction. We're within territorial limits, so we're going to send our RIB boarding team over there to have a word with them and to see where they've come from.
In summer, the RIB team board dozens of yachts a day, hunting for smugglers hiding amongst the traffic. But winter also produces drug seizures from criminals on do-or-die missions across the Atlantic.
We haven't seen any other yachts recently, so it's always worth checking as to why he's out here and no one else is at the moment.
The only way to find out is to go on board. Protecting Britain's borders is a 24-hour-a-day job. And in the Dover freight lanes, officers have to make instant assessments about which trucks to stop and which to let go.
And the danger is, of course, you say, no, this one's free to go. But you're thinking last night or 2 shifts ago, you know, have I maybe let something through? It's a bit of a game, you know.
On his 12-hour night shift, Alex has stopped a truck carrying salad, which unusually doesn't have a date stamp. It's small mistakes like this which can catch out smugglers.
It's hard to see though from the paperwork, right? His paperwork is pretty duff here.
The state of the trailer makes Alex suspect it may have something to hide.
Look.
I thought it's looking at
Yeah, okay.
It's to be a refurb.
Well, not a very good one, but...
We'll go drill it.
I'll open the base first.
Okay, chef, we go to Rampa? Rampa? Yeah. You drive. No problem. No problem, chef. We go to Rampa.
The driver's annoyed at being delayed, claiming the delay will ruin his perishable salad and he won't get paid.
Okay, chef, we give you document.
But a trailer like this must be searched properly.
No problema. Stop pretend no problema. Okay, chef, we're going to take a look, yeah? So go to Rampa. But and the driver's attitude as well, you know, when I tried to direct him to the base, he's trying to tell me he's got to be in Birmingham by 8 o'clock in the morning. We all know what the traffic's like.
Smugglers use any space they can to evade customs detection. Alex has seen plenty of dodgy vehicles and thinks this may be yet another.
There's screws missing. I mean, it'd be a pretty obvious one, but stranger things have happened.
As the excitement builds amongst the team, in the bay next door, another team have made a shocking find.
Yeah, is it possible to get immigration to the base, please? Because walking illegal at the moment.
This team have just found a clandestine concealed underneath the vehicle.
You look from underneath the back of the lorry, just see a leg stick out.
Problem. We do not.
The shocked driver appears to know nothing about the illegal stowaway, who's still hiding under the truck.
Well, I was just checking the floor of the trailer from back, and I was just shining my torch along the underneath the trailer, and I could see a person's leg, a pair of jeans or something underneath the trailer. It's just someone sitting on top of the axles. It's a bit shocking, really.
Illegal immigrants risking their lives in this way is frighteningly common. Officers manage to gently persuade the stowaway out of his freezing hiding place.
Get out that way.
I'll take.
That's it.
It's not too early. Well,
yeah. Well, field pallet. Right. Fly pallet. Yes.
Scared and cold, the man is surrounded and detained. Next, officers make sure he isn't going to pose a threat to them or himself.
Have we got one? Have we got a knife?
You have no weapon, knife?
No pistol?
That's okay.
No, okay. Do I?
A detention notice will be issued by the immigration authorities, and then Group 4 will come detain the person until the immigration authorities actually can come and process him in the morning, which isn't too far away now.
It's a sombre end to a long night, especially for this man and the driver.
You know, just shine my torch and everyone just knows it's a clandestine. We know it's an immigrant. When I say I've seen quite a few, so the driver's more shocked than me. And when we showed him, you could see he was quite upset, really.
The driver's truck appeared to be the perfect cover for this illegal immigrant, but his long journey will end in a night behind bars. Meanwhile, the angry behaviour of the driver on the other rummage bay means his truck will be x-rayed. Ben's team are now hopeful they too will find something.
I think that's the guy's attitude as well is not putting us off.
Also on the hunt for drugs, the RIB team are now set to search the suspicious yacht. Customs officers have the power to board and search any vessel, but sometimes this invasion of privacy can cause tensions. The cutter monitors the situation on board, whilst doing background checks on the yacht and its crew.
It's like a nice enough couple, don't they? They've got their life jackets on and life raft, dinghy. Usually people are quite helpful and friendly, and they're quite pleased to see us and chat to us, hopefully.
The sailors may look happy enough, but on board they're venting their frustrations at being boarded.
This is the second time this has happened to us. Yes.
Is this recently, is it?
Well, no, but some years ago. It's been so intrusive. It took absolutely ages half the time, and we had a sticky passage.
Right.
We arrived at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
Some flipping customers spoke with all else to do.
That's it. I couldn't believe it. At that time in the morning. Well, like I say, it should only take a couple of minutes.
The RIB team do their best to calm the sailors, while the cutter checks for previous offences.
Thank you.
Hopefully you won't see you for a while. They kept us. We weren't too happy about us going on board. They'd had a bad experience with customers before. And they were fine by the time we left.
Obviously, you're boarding a yacht, and these people live on those yachts for days and days at a time. So they've got all their personal possessions and everything out there and below. You've got to be careful when you're going into somebody else's home like that. So they were happy enough when we left. So.
The search may have been an inconvenience, but officers must take action if they see something that fits the profile of a smuggler. But most customs work comes from intelligence leads. In Gatwick, the intelligence unit has identified 2 suspects returning from Trinidad, and the officers are waiting for them. The suspects have been ignoring each other for the whole flight.
He's looking around.
This is behaviour often associated with smugglers.
Just behind the barrier. The guy in the khaki, he was looking around a hell of a lot when he came down here.
Yeah, he was.
Or while he's been down there. But disassociated with all of their travel until now. Yeah, this is our 2 coming. That's right. Yeah, sir. Hi. Where are you from today?
Pardon?
You in from Barbados?
Port of Spain.
Port of Spain. Okay, can I have a quick word? Are you travelling with anybody at all?
Yes, I am.
Okay. You come on over for both.
Go on, let's just get it over and done with. Go on, strip the bags down.
Is this your luggage?
Go for it. Knock yourselves out.
Yeah, is this your luggage?
Just knock yourself out. That's mine. Help yourself.
And that one's yours, is it?
Yep.
Okay. Did you pack all this luggage yourselves?
Yes, I did.
That's great. Has anybody given you anything to bring into the country?
No.
Okay, and you understand some things are not allowed here drugs-wise, of course.
Really?
Okay.
Like what?
All right,
Help me
that's
out.
great. Cannabis and all the rest.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Not allowed that here, no?
No, that's right. Okay, come on over.
The bag swab on the man in beige gives a hit for
So if
cocaine.
there's any traces of a test for cocaine and heroin?
That's right, a bad.
No, it's not worth it. If that's a true, I'll call authorities to rub him down. Yeah,
The man in black also gives a high score for cocaine. It looks like the intelligence may prove correct.
No, there's one final thing that we'd like to do.
Which is?
Search a person.
Sure, you didn't take my word for it, no?
Well, unfortunately, much as we might like to, we've got to be 100% certain.
In Dover, the salad truck with a suspicious floor is about to be x-rayed.
Yeah, we're just doing some scanning. Obviously, a load like that we're trying to get into without ruining it, really. Or certainly something anyway, so just the other scanning, hopefully they'll clear it or not.
The delayed driver's behaviour is the other reason they decided to scan the lorry.
The driver's attitude isn't doing himself any favours at the moment still, so... And obviously, although we've done the outsides and looked at the structure of the vehicle, it's always handy to have a second opinion, so, which is what this kind of gives us.
The team were initially convinced this was going to be a job, but it's looking like the team who found the illegal immigrant have had all the excitement for tonight.
No, it's like watercress or something like that, so it's very live. Well, the rest of it is, I don't know.
The scan quickly shows that the floor is clean and the cargo of salad can be on its way. Alex and Ben send the driver away reasonably happy, advising him to allow more time in future. The officers then go back out to stop their next customer. Drug smuggling through airports is big business for organised gangs. Today, customs have a tip-off that passengers carrying cocaine will be arriving in Bristol from Amsterdam.
We've already had a word with immigration. Once they've been pointed out, we've got 2 officers that are ready to do arrests.
With no idea what they look like, John's team are hoping to get a point out from immigration and will then stop and search the suspects.
30s. The lady has got an address in Holland and an address in the US, but we think they're both UK nationals. Basically, you can smuggle drugs in anything. We've had it in baby's milk powder, in tins of fruit, in tins of vegetables, meat even. They just adapt and improve their techniques, and we've got to make sure that we keep up with that and find it and keep it off the streets.
It turns out the female passenger is an American national, and the answers she gives to immigration's questions are already revealing lies.
The woman with the orange jacket on was sat down behind immigration, or in front of immigration. That's the woman.
She's staying with him at this address, travelling alone.
Super. I've got to go just in case he goes through. That's brilliant.
The passengers have split up, but an immigration officer at passport control identifies the suspect and gives John and Erica a discreet nod. The tip-off was that the passengers are bringing in cocaine, The lies at passport control are suspicious, but John needs to find the evidence or they'll be free to go.
Do you want me?
Hello, sir. Customs. You travelling on your own today? Who are you travelling with?
Well, my girlfriend, she's still the other side. She's an American citizen, so she's being held up there for a minute.
Oh, right, okay. And is this all your luggage?
That's hers, that's mine. I missed mine.
Okay. So why have you picked your girlfriends up then?
I have been polite.
Right, okay. You just want to come through with me then? And does she live with you full time, or is she just here on vacation?
She's here visiting.
Okay. Have you got a ticket for your flight?
The man's admission that he's travelling with his girlfriend contradicts her story at immigration, and the route they've flown sounds like an attempt to avoid customs attention.
And you've come in from Amsterdam. Were you anywhere before Amsterdam?
Yep, Texas, Frankfurt, and Chicago.
So how long have you been out of the UK?
Since Thursday.
It's married. Are you married?
Yeah, I'm married.
Oh, right. When did you get married?
Friday.
Well, do you ever use any drugs?
Nah.
No. What about your girlfriend?
No. I've done in the past, but I decided to get my act together.
Do you still smoke then, or not?
No, the ball back.
Well, you're completely clean. You must have a vice.
The female passenger has been interviewed by immigration and can now be searched by customs.
From Dallas to Frankfurt, Germany.
Right.
And then Frankfurt, Germany to Amsterdam. And then Amsterdam to
here.
Bristol.
Right.
Their flight plans match up, but the woman is very nervous.
I really have to pee. Is there some point, does somebody want to go with me to the bathroom? I just gotta pee. If you're gonna watch me pee, I just gotta go.
Because the woman is possibly carrying drugs, Erica must accompany her to the toilet.
Okay.
But it turns out to be just nerves. And John's bag search has also turned up nothing.
It was looking really good because the woman at immigration said that she's on her own. He came down, started fiddling with his mobile to text her, picked up her bag and brought her bag through, where she was still at immigration. After, obviously, he may not have known that she had said that she was on her own.
You finished the bags?
Yeah, I'll do some testing.
The last thing to do is swab the bags for drugs. If this comes up negative, John will be forced to let the suspects go. Back in Gatwick, the officers are body searching the two targets whose bags gave high readings for cocaine.
You just turn around, close your arms out the side.
What did your friend do?
Is he okay? He seems a bit jumpy.
He's just a black guy.
Is he? He's not hyperactive at the moment for a reason. He hasn't been using on the plane, is there, or something like that?
Like on top and stuff.
If you want to wait here for your buddy, I should imagine he'll get searched as well soon. I understand his base giving a reading to cocaine as well.
Told you before, what that one that's a lot of sort of about suspecting, but if someone can feel you said, well,
yes, yeah. That's why he found a trace. I told him, I said the reason he found a trace in the laptop is because I was sitting there, do a bit and play on my laptop.
What's he saying? He's been out for a holiday?
Been out there for a holiday. He's used coke and cannabis, which is why the high traces of coke on the laptop bag. And there you go. He's been well turned out whilst he was over there, and he knew that he was being stopped on the way back.
Do you fancy him for internal top?
No, I don't think so.
Mr. Talk.
Right, okay. Let's get him on the way.
Yeah.
Right.
The intelligence that they're involved with drugs was correct, but personal use abroad isn't a matter for UK customs, and the search for smugglers will have to continue.
There's a sense of anti-climax, because, you're looking for the gear and it's not there. But, next time.
Successful drug seizures at sea are often triggered by foreign surveillance aircraft who alert British customs when a suspicious vessel is headed for UK waters.
In February 2000, we became alerted to suspicious activity by the French Customs Service, who had been patrolling the western fringes of the Bay of Biscay. They did some basic checks, as they do in all vessels, and found out that it had been registered from Panama. They also noticed that there was a number of items on board which appeared to be barrels, which they thought was a little bit unusual. They got in quite close to it, and I think as a result of that, the vessel turned off its GPS, which the French thought a little bit unusual. They were suspicious of that. The vessel was heading towards the UK mainland.
Immediately, the French alerted the British cutters.
We were very fortunate in that we had quite a number of cutters who were actually in South Coast ports at the time, and therefore they were immediately deployed to the coordinates that the French were constantly giving for the vessel.
With no GPS, the aircraft needed to maintain constant visual contact with the vessel named the Deep Diver.
It was very important to continue to track the vessel, and round the clock, this was during the day and at night, they sent up light aircraft to continue that monitoring.
As the Deep Diver entered British waters, the suspects on board knew they were being watched from all sides.
The cutters who were surveilling the Deep Diver were able to observe the barrels being jettisoned by someone on that particular vessel into the English Channel.
The cutter crew decided to strike.
They don't know what they're going to find. It could be that there are firearms on board, and officers have met their death in doing this type of work before.
Once on board, the crew were arrested immediately. Meanwhile, the RIB team searched for the evidence. Their swift action recovered all the barrels containing one of the biggest hauls of cannabis for years.
And when all the barrels were recovered, it totaled 680 kilos of cannabis, which then had a street value in the region of about 3.5 to 4 million pounds. So it was a very significant seizure of cannabis. They were all eventually found guilty by jury trial, and they were sentenced to 9, 7 and 5 years.
Thanks to the cutters, 3 more drug smugglers were safely behind bars. Back in Bristol, John's waiting for the result of the last drug swab on the passengers from Amsterdam. The test result proves that the anonymous tip-off claiming they were carrying drugs was false.
Okay, what we do, we'll pack you back up? Yep. Quite happy, really. Yeah. He's very cool. We still don't understand why she would told the immigration officer she's travelling on her own.
They got caught by
Have they?
Yeah. She there for granted, she's a visitor now.
Kind of.
So she said, which would justify why they fled.
But he's completely clean. Shoes, bag, passport.
But what began as a customs search has identified an immigration problem, and their contradictory accounts will help immigration with their inquiries.
But she said she was travelling on her own, right there.
Yeah, she's
at the interception point.
And we went absolutely up nicely for us if you don't want. She's not disgraced that.
Oh, right, okay. I've just been to speak to immigration, and there's a problem with her passport in that it looks like she's doing lots of trips in and around Europe, possibly to disguise the fact that she's been staying in the UK for longer than she perhaps should be. And because she's made untruthful statements to immigration, it looks highly likely that they're going to be sending her back to the United States.
The couple are given the all clear by customs, but the female passenger will be detained, which won't please her new husband.
Immigration are keeping her there for the time being. They want to have a chat with her. Unfortunately, there's nothing I can do to help you with that. I mean,
the thing is,
I'm not
just because of my appearance.
No, it wasn't that.
No?
No. I can assure you it wasn't anything to do with your appearance.
Right.
All right. I mean, there are. Your wife has said things which are concerning immigration at the moment, and that's why they want to talk to her about it.
That wasn't why you pulled us in there, was it?
I pulled you in separate to your wife.
You pulled me in because of my appearance.
It had nothing to do with your appearance.
I'm afraid I think it was.
All right, but
I think you're being prejudiced.
Okay.
I think you're soft.
The man's anger gets him nowhere, and he storms off alone. She wasn't a smuggler, but the man's wife failed to convince immigration that she was a genuine tourist and was sent back to America.